Hey crew, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local light worker. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer. Welcome to a very special midnight session pick-a-card reading. I am going to have to switch my schedule to a nighttime schedule for the pick-a-card readings that I have in mind to create for you guys for next week, because it is so hot during the day in Bucharest that I am not able to even stand up straight. Yes, we are having a massive heat wave at the moment, as if Europe didn't have enough problems to deal with, but I know that limitations help us build innovations, and I know that this is the influence of Saturn in Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus. So this is all happening for a higher purpose, and we just have to adapt. We just have to evolve. We just have to figure out solutions, out-of-the-box solutions to dealing with these obstacles. It's kind of like a race course at the moment, in order for us to be able to do the things that we would normally be able to do quite a smooth way. They're a little bit jagged. The energy is quite challenging at the moment, but at least we find ourselves now in Leo season, the season of the heart. And for some reason, something deep is awakening inside of me as I am trying to help you, as I'm trying to figure out ways in which I can be of service for you guys. And what I had in mind for tonight was to call the big guns. We're calling my ancestry. We're tapping deep into the power of the witches. I have had a couple of moments when I had to be like in solitude with them. I had to ask for their advice with a couple of deeply healing things that are happening in my life. And it's funny because I think somebody commented on one of my previous pick-a-card readings, and they told me that, no, you're not a witch. But anyway, love and light. And it kind of, the comment, you know, it was very bittersweet. I read it and I thought, there is no desire in me to retaliate, because I know I am a witch in my bones, and unfortunately I don't see this as a blessing, being a witch. I know that a lot of people out there are trying to make a business and a living out of how cool it is to call yourself a witch, but when you truly are a witch, you know that it comes with such a great responsibility. It's a lifetime of deep inner work, and you are genuinely born in such dire circumstances in your life. It's a struggle to survive. It's also the perspective of the outsider. Witches have always been seen as members that are on the outskirts of things, that were never accepted, never included, never listened, betrayed, punished, abused. Who would like to be under this energy? It's not something that I choose to be. It's something that I am in spite of myself. And it's my bloodline as well. My mother is a powerful witch. My grandmother was a powerful witch. It's something inescapable. And I'm doing this deep inner work at the moment for the collective as part of the process of healing myself, so that if I ever give birth to a baby, that baby will come into this world with good dharma. So this being said, I just felt the need to clarify a little bit that, you know, you need to take this role of being a witch, your spiritual work that you're doing, with a little bit of a grain of salt. And it's not that I put myself on a pedestal compared to other people out there, But I am speaking from my own experience. I am speaking from the wealth of knowledge that I have, my lived experience, what I have been educated, and everything that I have seen in my culture and in other cultures as I travel the world, as you guys know. And it is just very evident to me, this has never been a choice. I've always been under the influence of certain forces that were greater than me. And doing this kind of work for you guys, it's me acknowledging this fact and no longer running away from it. Okay, this being said, I have here a lot of interesting things that we're going to tackle tonight. I've opened the space here for any types of messages to come through. So it can be an advice regarding your inner power, your love life, your career, the transformation you might be going through, what you're struggling. Maybe it's a survive versus thrive kind of energy. We will see what comes up. I'm hearing that for some of you, there might be a message here about children or your pets, your health as well. So I've opened the space for whatever message needs to come through to manifest itself. I have here a choice of 4 powerful guides for you, and I've already selected all of the materials that we need so that we can just get into it. I have a rune, I have a sigil, I have a couple of spells that I will read out for you, each at your individual pile. Okay, so bear with me, we're going deep, we're exploring something that needs to make itself known and felt and seen in your life at the moment. And I'm going to take my time, however long the reading needs to be. I am going to get deep into it and I'm going to bring out something to the light. This is my role as a light worker, as a white witch. So the choices that I have here for you today are, for group 1, we have here none other than Morgan LeFay, the Witch of Ages. Atonement, growth, and deceit are her keywords. Of course, she represents more than these 3 keywords, but for some reason, the authors of the deck from which she comes, Mausolea, the Oracle of Souls, decided to typecast her in that way. Now, we have here, for group 2, we have Futura, she who divines. And her keywords are future, choice, and judgment. She belongs to the L key oracle. Now for group 3, we have a very special energy. This is Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. She belongs to the Keepers of Light oracle deck. And then, of course, we couldn't have a reading on the topic of witchcraft without introducing Hecate, the mother of magic and witchcraft, the 3-faced goddess. Okay, she is from the legendary Ladies Oracle. All of the oracles, the decks that I'm using are linked in the description box below, and I have used the entirety of my witchy oracle decks. I don't have a tarot deck that is about witchcraft or represents witches. The only one that I have is the White Witch Tarot, which is only representative of the 22 major arcanas, but I will make sure to maybe include it on my tarot and oracle wish list. I have an Amazon gift wish list down, linked in the description box below. If any of you considers purchasing it for me, then I would gladly reply to your generosity by giving you a free general reading. Okay, all this being said, take a moment now to see which of these 4 witchy guides pulls you in the most. Which one would you like to choose as your guide in this pick-a-card reading? If you've made your choice, then let's get to it. Let's find out. What do the witches have to say to you? What advice do you need to hear the most now? Hey group 1, hello my loves. I'm so happy to have you here with me for a reading called Ask the Witches. What advice do you need to hear now? You might be going through a difficult period. Some blockages could manifest themselves in your life and you might not have any clue how to deal with them or why things are happening in the way in which they are happening. So tonight I'm asking the witches on your behalf. I will give you a sigil, a rune, some spell work. hopefully by the end of this reading we will clarify what has been burdening you and how can you overcome it. So this is for those of you that were drawn to Morgan LeFay, right? The Witch of Ages. She is connected with Arthurian legends, with the Anglo-Saxon mythological world. It could be that you might come from that world, or you've always been attracted to Anglo-Saxon lore, to stories of King Arthur. I think that Stonehenge could also be an energetic point in the world that could pull you in quite strongly. So she will be your guide tonight. And in her name, I pulled a couple of cards for you. So let's see. First of all, I'm going to begin with the rune that you have. And here we have Tiwaz. This is the rune that is governed over by the Norse god Tyr. This represents for a moment I'm feeling very conscious of what I'm saying in your reading, maybe because you tend to hang on every word that I'm saying. Okay, try not to take this reading too seriously, right? So we are doing a lot of work here in the reading tonight, but also keep in mind these readings are also meant primarily for your entertainment and inspiration. So we have here Tiwaz, and Tiwaz is ruled by the Norse god Tyr, the god of law, justice, judgment, fair retribution. You see, we have a spear here, so I feel that this is about working towards a goal. You have a goal in mind and you want to achieve it, but there might be things constantly appearing on the path of you achieving that goal that block it. So I feel like you're here because you want some help from the world beyond the veil to remove those obstacles, maybe remove the energies. I'm hearing a lot of envy, competition, maybe there is some jealousy as well. There are certainly some people that don't want to see you succeed for whatever reason. And actually, the energy of this rune is that of the god Mars. So you can take into consideration the god Tyr, but also put him together with god Mars. So this is about the Libra and Aries polarity in astrology. The courage to speak your truth. The courage to stand up for yourself and use the letter of the law to enact a form of justice in your environment. I feel like you're called at the moment to do something in your environment. And I'm trying to put this into words because there is a tricky energy here. There is such a thing as divine justice, divine retribution, which comes at the right time when it has to come. It might not be the time when you want it to come, the time when the ego is saying, now, I want justice right now. I can't take this any longer. But the thing is that indeed, there are some people that could be challenging you. There are some people that could be working against you in life, and you might want them removed from your circumstances quite quickly. But the thing is that everything is cyclical, and whatever seeds of negativity and injustice and spite and envy and jealousy and competitiveness they're planting at the moment will ripen. But it takes, usually a lunar cycle takes about 6 months. If we think about the karmic retribution of the planet Saturn, it takes about 2.5 years for Saturn to move through each sign of the zodiac. So there are cycles, and we must obey these natural, divine, astrological cycles, because they will give us poetic justice. They will give us the type of justice that will make our soul feel quite at peace and will help us relinquish that negativity that we had to endure. But the thing is that you enduring certain things also hones you spiritually. So you wanting justice in that second could be a way of you wanting to block your spiritual growth. We often grow spiritually in life not by getting what we want very quickly and by being able to manifest things left and right like we're some sort of like magicians. Usually people that tell you that you can manifest everything all the time when you want are internet scammers. So be careful with that. I wanted to say internet scams and internet scammers. Anyway, I'm not here to throw other people under the bus, but just be careful out there, okay? There are certain cycles that need to be obeyed on the path towards you achieving your goal. And you have to keep in mind, oh, my nose is itching, so that means they're present. Thank you for being here. Yeah. You have to keep in mind that what tends to obstruct you might also be helping you grow, might also be honing you spiritually, might be strengthening you. I'm picking up on such a distinct lack of confidence in this pile, and that could be potentially what is dragging the energy down so quickly, so fast. You might misspeak or misrepresent yourself. There is something here about not having courage to say those words, those sentences, to put your ideas into words, hiding behind polite words, hiding behind everyday niceties. You need to break through that. Morgan LeFay is asking you to make friends with the biatch within, for lack of a better words, the bitch, the badass, the a-hole within, yeah? Make friends with that. It's your shadow self. You have to own it rather than project it onto other people and lasso them into this kind of weird projection energy. Make friends with that darker side. Accept it, acknowledge it, make it comfortable. We all have that. We're all both light and dark. Now, let's get into it, because I think that this rune is the key to understanding what you need to do in order to break through the blockages. If you're being disrespected, if there are blocks in your capacity to achieve something because other people always compete with you, get in your way, try to bully you, you need to find a way to exercise your force and your strength in a way in which it can intimidate others without getting into problems with the law. And that usually happens when you step into your power. When you are able to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to do this with you. I'm not going to engage with this, but I will make you aware of the fact that you cannot treat me in this way, that there will be consequences and repercussions to you treating me below what I am worthy of being treated. And I can already see your sigil, so I will show you the sigil right now. We have here self-confidence. Yeah, so as you can see, I was picking up already on this energy, but we can see here as well the circle. It looks as a wheel that should be moving, but at the moment it's somehow stuck in its motion. The keywords here are strong self-belief and a sense of self-worth. So if you're struggling at the moment with your confidence, draw the sigil. Use this sigil, use this image. Usually you activate the sigil, you activate its magic by drawing it, painting it, creating it for yourself, and placing it under maybe your pillow, under a coffee cup, under your laptop, placing it in your wallet, placing it in your purse, someplace. You can even put it in a pocket close to your body, someplace where it can be activated by your energy, the heat that exudes from your body. This is how you activate a sigil, and this is how you can benefit from the power that it gives you. In this case, self-confidence. So if you're struggling with contenders, competitors, people that constantly keep jamming your flow, your energy, people that could even hex you or curse you, or just like they really don't want to see you succeed, then draw the sigil. I'm going to show it to you again. And I feel that Tiwaz is asking you to step into your Mars energy. Check the placement of Mars in your chart, the house and the sign. Study it. Get very comfortable with your Mars energy. Mars relates to aggression, instinct. It relates to charisma as well. It is the energy of doing rather than thinking or overthinking things. So the polarity of Libra, thinking, knowing things by reading them from books, analyzing things, analyzing situation. For some reason, I don't understand why I keep tripping over the words. I wanted to say analysis, but then analyzing came through. I feel that you, group 1, could be people that were drawn to this reading, but you're not native speakers of English. Maybe that's why you're drawn to the Anglo-Saxon world. It could be that you're studying English, or English is your second language. That's what I'm picking up on. The flow keeps being jammed. So that's perfectly fine. I'm in the same boat as you guys. You know, I'm also like, English is my second language too. So there is something here about potentially feeling like an outsider because you feel like you're not speaking the language, or you're not born in the country that you're living in, or you're studying in, or working in, or trying to achieve a goal in. So you feel a little bit like you have to work at being worthy, and this could be seeping your self-confidence away from you. Let's see what the other oracle cards have to say, because I can't believe how long I actually took to just draw information from these 3 symbols, but I think it's necessary for you, so I'm just going with the flow of this. Now we have here the Tower from the White Witch Tarot. Mars energy. So double the fun, double the Mars message. You have to start acting. You have to start doing things. You've been thinking too much about everything, and this is what's dragging you down. This is what's creating these blocks. Your energy is inside of you, wanting to come out, wanting to push through, and you're just no. And what is happening to that energy? It's going inside of you. It's coming up as physical symptoms, bloating. Maybe your body is bloating, holding too much water. Maybe you're starting to itch, to scratch, to tap your leg, tap your fingers, bite your nails, scratch your teeth, or grind your teeth, more like it. There's something here. You could be also like overly scratching your hair, your sacral chakra, trying to overstimulate it. The way out of your conundrum at the moment is by taking action, by being a bit forceful, by getting into the flow of doing things. And you might be thinking, but I am so unmotivated. I can't even get myself out of the chair. Put one step forward, and then put the other one, and then put the other one, and then push yourself to do more. Push yourself to walk for 30 minutes, then push yourself to walk for an hour. Push yourself to do one small thing. Make yourself a cup of coffee, then put the laundry in the washing machine, then open the door, go outside, visit a friend, run an errand. Small steps will eventually help you build into that energy that you wish you had. But it has to come from within, because your energy is inside of you. I can feel it. It's repressed. You've been repressing it for too long. You've been spending either too much time indoors, too much time contemplating what you would like your life to be. Go out there and do it. Take advantage at the moment. When I am creating this reading, although it is timeless and it applies to you the moment you stumble upon it, I am creating it with the energy of a specific astrological sky. We have Jupiter in Aries at the moment. And Jupiter in Aries, unfortunately, has been conjunct the asteroid Chiron, the asteroid of wounded healing. And this is a very difficult placement because it tells us go out into the world and break open a new path. Be brave enough to have this self-confidence. I can do it. I know I can, and I can do it on my own, by myself. But then there's a lot of wounding that comes up, a lot of self-limiting beliefs, a lot of, but what if I can't? But what if I'll be violently attacked? But what if everything will go against me? What if I say or do something that will push me to the side? Because of Chiron. You feel the need to go and do something, but you might feel that you can do it better for other people than you can do it for yourself. This is only a mind game. Go and just do it. And you'll see how brave you are and how beautifully you can do it for yourself and for other people. Okay? And that could just be as simple as motivating yourself. You can motivate yourself, and by motivating yourself, you become an example for other people around you. You motivate them, and together we all thrive. But somebody has to start somewhere. We can't all just be inside our houses hiding away, right? Be that pioneer. Mars energy is pioneer. I'm gonna do it first. I'm gonna open the path, lead the way. Everybody else can follow after I open the door. Yeah? Aries energy. Now let's see. Once in a blue moon, the unexpected. What if once you open that door, there is something incredibly gorgeous that happens in your life? What if instead of worrying about the future, you could take a little bit of time to enjoy the openness, the possibilities, the opportunities? Try that mental exercise for a chance. It is natural and normal because we are beings that are built genetically to survive, right? We want to carry forward our genetic material. So naturally we go to the dark places. We try to think, okay, if I take this step, will I be killed? Will I still survive? Will I still be here? But at the same time, we have something called consciousness. And that consciousness tells us that there is a world of opportunity that opens us up for us when we have a blank slate, when we don't know a lot of things. It's not like negativity has to happen necessarily. We can also think about potential colorful events that could happen that don't lead to our ultimate destruction and annihilation. They could also lead to prosperity, something bland, maybe not that much happening. Maybe it could lead to a small victory that builds in time to a bigger victory. And again, my nose is itching. I'm sorry guys, this usually happens when potentially what I'm saying really fits with the situation you are dealing with. Haha, the High Priest, the Guardian. Okay, the message I'm picking up on is a lot of you are afraid of not being in control of your own soul. A lot of you are afraid that you're somehow drained of your life force, drained of like your stamina, your inner fire. It's kind of like I'm getting this image of a hollowed body that is controlled by somebody else, like Dance, my puppet Dance, or a zombie that is moving from one day to another, from one building to another, like in a very hopeless, lonely way. But the High Priest is here telling you you're very much alive. You are none of those things. Look at the inner fire inside of you. Why don't you spread your wings and do something with it? You're meant to radiate. At the moment you're repressing, but you're meant to radiate. Yeah. The High Priest is again a masculine energy, so I'm kind of getting this flow of inspiration to tell you, group one, make friends with your inner masculine, heal that inner masculine, love your inner masculine, love your energetic, solar, radiant, confident, all the beautiful things that we tend to associate with the domain of the male world. It has its great parts, right? There are beautiful things we can love in what we consider normally male. But the trick here is that illusion, the Maya, the separation. We think that what's male belongs only to male bodies. Bullshit. It belongs to female bodies as well. In our bodies, we have each sexes, we have testosterone and estrogen, just that in different quantities, right? We all began with the X chromosome, just that one of them is missing a leg. Yeah? One is XX, the other one XY. One is just missing a tiny leg. If you take away our sexual parts, like the breasts and the penis and the vagina, we are just people that have 2 hands, 2 feet, a head on their shoulders, right? Eyes, nose, mouth. Think about those things. Remove the other elements. See people at a soul level. See yourself at a soul level. You could be feeling like you're not full of life and full of soul because you haven't been valuing your soul. It's been too much here. It's been too much in the mind. And potentially too much distraction from social media, a rationalist perspective, too much pragmatism in your life. It's kind of like you need to bust a rut. You've been in the habit of, I'm kind of getting of being too rational, too pragmatic. There is such a thing as being overly rational and overly pragmatic. When you're missing out on the spiritual world, when you're missing out on your emotions, soulful energy, you feel drained and depleted of life. And you have to take action and do something that helps you believe in yourself. It helps you believe in other people and the goodness and kindness of other people. But this only happens if you share your energy. As you know, the law of abundance, the law of attraction works. If you begin with something, if you have something to share, and then it gets returned to you. And the more you share, the more it comes back to you. If you hold everything within, the energy cannot flow. There's nothing to attract. You need to radiate to attract. Let's see. Furthermore, we have here Taurus energy. We have Taurus energy twice. So much Taurus energy. Now speaking up on some Scorpio energy with the darkness, with the lack of confidence, with Morgan LeFay, right? She's a very Scorpionic, Plutonic image. And also Mars. Mars is the old-fashioned traditional ruler of Scorpio. Before Pluto was discovered, the ancients considered Mars to be the light Mars, Aries, and the dark Mars, Scorpio. So we have here the polarity that we see in the sky at the moment. At the moment in which I'm filming this reading, we have the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio. Yeah. So these are the karmic points of the lunar nodes of the moon that tell us that out of the darkness comes the light. That the darkness is only the background for the amazing feats of light that we can create here in the world. Even something as terrible as the neighboring war that is happening in Ukraine just serves as a background for us to show true empathy, true protection, true courage, true kindness, to take action on behalf of other people to make their lives better, even as some despotic overlord is doing his best to make their lives worse. The light that blocks the darkness. But we have to take action, we have to do something, and especially you, Group 1, you have to do something in order to block the darkness. You cannot just sit still and allow it to overwhelm you, because then it overwhelms you. There is no light. So we have here figs, and figs are very juicy. They're quite erotic fruits, I would say. There is a sense here of vitality, right? We have the snake, and again, the snake represents healing, but it also represents sexuality. In the Chinese zodiac, in Chinese astrology, the year of the snake has people born into the world that are incredibly seductive and sexual. And actually, the year of the snake corresponds to the sign of Taurus. So a lot of the characteristics of people born under the Chinese year of the snake vibe very well with Taurians if you compare the two characteristics in Western astrology. So we have here sensuality, accepting the senses, getting in touch with the 5 senses, but also through the senses allowing a higher awareness to take place. If you get confused by the messages you see in the media, tune out and get in contact with the world around you. Allow the contact with the world around you, what you smell, what you taste, what you see, what you touch, what you hear. Allow it to build you on the inside. Allow it to nourish the soul, to awaken it, so you can radiate the soulful energy on the outside again. Figs are incredibly sweet when they're ripe. They're sweet and they're juicy. They're delicious. So there is something here about you loving life again, learning to love life again, learning to love yourself again. We also have here flashover. It's all in your head, number 11. You see where the problem was? In your head, in your beautiful head. But that's okay, because now that we've identified where the problem was coming from, we can melt it away. We can melt it away. Too much electricity, too much stimulation, maybe too much social media usage, too much of this, too little of this, and anything else in the nether regions. So yeah, maybe you need to, you know, have some sort of sensual pleasure. You might need to go to bed with somebody. You might need to just express yourself in an artistic way. Movement of any kind is like a healing balm to your soul in this period. So take action. We also have here, this is the Passion card, and we have here the coming of winter. Oh, interesting. So maybe some of you that have chosen this deck, maybe you have this deck too. Interesting. Some of you that have chosen this pile could come from the southern hemisphere, because the southern hemisphere is at the moment in an autumnal landscape. So you're preparing for winter. You guys are surrounded at the moment by Halloweenish energies if you are in the southern part of the world. And we have here, it comes in lullabies deep within your mirrored flesh. Alas, it is time to lay your quivering chest upon the winter's coming. It's time to allow things to still around you. It's time to let things be as they are, rather than you trying to change them by coming up with a lot of different quick solutions. Why don't you just accept them as they are and be with them? And see how this gives you fresh insights that at the moment you're not able to pierce just with the power of your mind. You must get in your senses. You must accept your body. You must treat your body better in order for this vitality to come back to you. It can be as easy as eating better, as easy as that, and definitely moving more. Eating better, moving more. That's what's going to get your body out of this mental inertia and stimulate it. And it is what's going to prepare it for whatever obstacles and whatever, things, limitations life might keep bringing us during the Saturn and Aquarius cycle. But it's very important for you to activate this passion. It's very, very important for you to just get deep into things, get deep into your physicality. Not from just a mental level, but to feel yourself again. Yeah, to feel yourself. And another thing I notice here, and I need to point it out, is that we have here 1111. You see it in the number of the cards. So we have 1111, you're manifesting something brand new. A new cycle is upon you. And it is going to be manifested. It's going to appear in your reality. You're going to be able to create it. If you go from here, from your upper chakras, the upper points of energy in your body, if you bring it all down, if you anchor it, if you ground yourself into your lower chakras, they need stimulation because they're a little bit sleepy at the moment. So as I promised you, I also have a spell, and it is this Passion card that is bringing a spell for you. So I'm going to read you right now the spell incantation from the Spellcasting Oracle, which is created by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Michael-John Free. Okay, so the Passion. Face south at noon on a Friday during a first quarter moon. Light a red candle and say, "Now call upon the spirit of fire, invoking vigor, adoration, and desire. Allow the fire to ravage and surge, to reignite that hot-blooded urge. Apathy fades in soft candlelight. Stoke up the flame of passion tonight. Emotions embraced and ready to heal, interest aroused with fervor and zeal. Blow out the red candle and say, gratefully, I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence. So mote it be." Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Your passions reveal your life purpose, and the fear of fire could stem potentially from your past life. But renewed passion is going to bring you the true love that you are seeking. And I know a lot of you are seeking true love. So all of your strong emotions, everything that you're feeling, don't keep it in. Harness it. Take that energy and do something with it. And I know you will get super inspired after watching this reading as to what you can do in your life. Even if it's just as simple as getting up and going, listening to a song and dancing, shaking it out a little bit, and potentially maybe even doing the spell, the passion spell that I've just read out for you. Thank you so much, Morgan LeFay, the guide for my beautiful group 1. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. I hope it helps. I hope it serves. Thank you so much for being here, my beautiful crew. And I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Ciao. Hey, group 2. Hello, my loves. Welcome to a special pick a card reading on the topic of Let's Ask the Witches, what advice do you need to hear now? This is a reading that can actually give you advice on any area of your life that you need to handle or get a better grasp over. Maybe you need some inspiring idea as to how you can proceed forward. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this card, Futura, she who divines. So you could be a tarot reader yourself, you could be an oracle reader, you could be a spiritual person, an astrologer, a member of the love and light community, a member of the spiritual community, and you're here looking for some sort of guidance, looking for some sort of inspiration, or you're just curious to see my style of reading and interpreting energy. So I'm very happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're allowed Futura to guide you. Futura to me also speaks about her name, right? Her name represents future energy, progress. So this is Aquarius energy as well. If we think about the fact that Uranus as the planet, as what it symbolizes, rules over astrology. So there is this energy of a person that dabbles in the occult in order to reach a higher level of awareness and potentially pour this energy, this nourishing educational energy onto people, the public, the masses, the wider population, in order to help them ascend, to help them rise, to help them reach a new level of development. Yeah. So I'm kind of picking up that this is the vibration that you came here with. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to begin first with the rune that I have for you. So, Ansus. This is a wonderfully creative energy. So, Ansus usually speaks about order. It's quite similar to Group 1's energy, law and justice, but not as feisty, not as kind of powerfully determined as Group 1 kind of needed to rise into. This is Jupiterian energy. This is about the power to name things, to create order out of chaos, to bring forth an energy of classification, organization, almost like you're labeling things and color coding them in order to make them stand out, to help other people see their value, to help preserve them, maintain them. So it's not order just for order's sake or for let's limit other people, let's, control them. No, this is about I create, I preserve, I conserve, I put something in its place because it is more beautifully seen from that light. Ansus also speaks about a talent for words, a talent for poetry, music, writing. It is the Jupiterian energy of growth, education, expanding your mind. So this is what I feel you came here with. This is a great period of growth for you. So I feel like you're in this disciple role at the moment, even though you could be quite developed yourself, but it's kind of like you're feeling your way through a territory that is a little bit new to you. So you're trying to learn as much as you can from it to become even better. It's almost like a master that is honing a specific skill to level up and become the master magician, the master astrologer, whatever skill and craft you're working on at the moment, I do feel that if you chose this pile with the energy of this rune, I feel like you're going to hone it, you're going to master it, you are going to make it your biatch. And now let's see. This is going to take a very emotional role for you, because the sigil that I have for you is this one. Happy love. So it could be that you're really struggling in this period to manifest love, and I'm here to give you some good news. This is the sigil, this is the symbol that you can draw in this period to activate it. So as I mentioned for group 1, a sigil is basically a drawing, a creation of a specific symbol that holds energy inside of it, and you activate it with a specific part of your energy. Maybe your temperature, maybe it could be some of your bodily fluids. You basically need to draw it and put it somewhere close to you, under your pillow, in your garment. You can wear it close to your body. You can put it under a coffee cup that you drink from. You can put it next to your laptop and workspace. It's so important to actually not only draw it, but also activate it with a specific part of your body, yeah, in order to manifest what it says here that it does. And I see here a joyful, stable partnership and good friends. So this goes beyond just finding a person that you love and having blissful sex with. This is about feeling like you belong, finding your soul tribe, not only finding a partner, but also a couple of people, your friends, people that you can hang around with, people that I guess accept you, are willing to listen to you, are willing to understand you, to get to know you. So I feel that this is what you are able to manifest in this period. There is an energy here about needing to be kinder with yourself, being a bit more gentle with yourself, because I'm very drawn to the keyword that I see on the Futura card, which is judgment. And if you keep in mind that Ansus also comes with this energy of order, there could be a need here to control things a little bit. You might struggle to actually float and flow with the unknown. Rather, you want to limit it. It's kind of like you want clearly defined boundaries. You want to understand where you stand, what to expect, what's coming next. This is what's being changed at the moment. I'm getting a very distinct Virgo Pisces energy. You could have a South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces, or vice versa. There is this energy here of how do I handle creative, emotional chaos, and how do I transform it into something more lucrative, something that I can depend on, something that I can pragmatically show other people as this is my work, this is what I've been doing. Yeah. Virgos, my lovely Virgos, are all about duties, responsibilities, putting in the hard work. And Pisces, my beautiful Pisces, right? You're all about going with the flow, living in the moment, seeing where each adventure takes you next, seeing people at a soul level, riding that wave of opportunities until it stops, and then putting your faith in the divine that another wave is going to come through, right? So Pisces and Virgo energies, you could resonate with these, or potentially the person you're trying to manifest for some of you out there. So this is what I had from the beginning part, but now let's get into the oracle cards, because I have plenty of them here for you, and I also have a spell for you towards the end. So let's see, we have the High Priestess. So you see how the messages speak so beautifully with each other. I love this flow. Oh my god, I feel you have such a beautiful energy. You could be trying to read into me or to read my energy, my aura. Let me know down in the comments what you see. Although I do reserve my right to disagree with you, okay? So keep that in mind. There is Piscean energy, High Priestess energy. There is also an energy of being emotionally detached, but there is a fear here of, have I reached my prime? Will I be able to have children? Is my biological clock overboard? Is it super ticking? And this, I think, super ticking, what is that about? I don't know, some of you I think are really anxious. You're really worried about fertility. Will I be able to have a child at this age at which I find myself at? This applies for both men and women. Women are, I think, worried about your uterus. You see it very well represented here. You're worried about its health, reproductive issues, fertility. I feel some of you are really affected by the Roe versus Wade, basically upturning, reconsideration. Yeah, I feel at the moment when I said that, boom, it's like there was a mental block. So I don't mean to trigger you in any way, but I do feel that some of you are really upset about the whole reproductive mess that happened in June. I feel that this also applies for you as men. You could be having certain problems. I feel maybe erectile problems. You could be worrying whether you are able to have true and deep intimacy. You're able to make love to a person in a long-term connection. Maybe you've been having too many one-night stands or engaging too much with the Tinder dating scene, which is highly toxic, guys, and I do recommend that you step out of it. I think that experience and a lot of the things that have happened to many people that have gone on these kind of like social media dates are showing us that there's something weird there. It's not working and it's kind of changing the fabric of our social relations. But that's just my 2 cents. Feel free to make your own opinion regarding social media dating apps. But I feel that there are worries here about fertility, worries here about your capacity to have a family, to root down with somebody, to combine your sexuality with your heart. You see, her heart here is upturned. Only if we turn it on its head does the heart stand strong as it should. There needs to be a really important change in your life, a transformation. Whatever you've been doing in your personal connection, I feel like you need to stop and do exactly the opposite. This is a 360 degrees turn. It's a really powerful, it can be beautiful, it has the potential here for a lot of power, but you have to make the decision. It starts with you. This transformation starts with you and your dedication to push forth, because I think this is what's at stake. Happy love, your inclusion into a specific group. And I feel here this talks also about body image issues. Worrying whether you are manly enough, worrying whether you are feminine enough, has to stop. Has to stop. I said it twice, it's so important. It has to stop. You have to accept yourself as you are. We all have problems, we all have qualities, we'll never be perfect. Every person in this world has cellulitis. Whether they show it on social media or not, we all have it, okay? Every person in this world is gonna age. It's inevitable. It's part of life. And it's the beautiful part of life. The fact that our time here on earth is limited, you know? So, accepting your mortality, accepting your vulnerability is gonna be the breakaway through into the other realm, the realm of happiness, love, possibility, and accepting authenticity, your own and that of other people. Not just make-believe images, not just plastic, superficial, artificial things that give you a quick fix, but they don't end up fulfilling you in the long run. You can't rely on them. The new moon. Beginnings, and we have a new moon coming up. So at the moment at which I'm filming this reading, although it is timeless and it applies to you the moment you stumble upon it through the beautiful law of serendipity, it does speak about the upcoming new moon in Leo, or the new moon that is coming up in the next cycle from the moment when you watch this. So there is a new moon here, a chance for you to start again, to plant new intentions, to take new actions, to scrape out everything you've been trying to manifest that was not maybe coming from an authentic place. It could have come from the ego. Sometimes we don't know that this happens. You know, in my practice as well, this happens as well. And I said it twice again. There is something here about repetition, doing things over and over again, and maybe expecting a different result. but it has to change. The thing you're doing needs to change, because if not, doing things over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So what I wanted to say is that even in my practice, when I sit down and I divinate, both for myself and for other people, I tell myself a list of affirmations. One of them is, I step out of my ego and into my true self. It's not easy. I don't think I achieve it all the time. I sometimes forget to say affirmations before I just dive into the divinatory process. So my practice isn't perfect either. But it's the trying towards perfection that saves us. Trying towards perfection, trying towards the ideal. You've got a new chance here to walk through a new gateway. This could also speak about the Lion's Gate portal, Ishtar's Gate, one of the most powerful, heart-opening events of the year. We have it each year. We are so blessed. On the 8th of August, 8th of the 8th, that's when it opens. And the funny thing is that we've been having a very hot day around here, and tonight it's been thunderstorms. I locked my windows, but I could see it outside. There was the lightning that completely appeared in the sky. Right now it distracted my attention for a moment. Lightning, a flash of inspiration, an aha moment coming through. You know what you need to do. Number 2, union. Allowing yourself to be loved, warts and all. Allowing yourself to be seen. I feel like you're going to enter into a period when you'll be so comfortable with yourself. You might go out without wearing makeup if you're a woman, or without flexing your muscles if you're a guy. I feel like you're just going to be comfortable. You might even go out in the same clothes at which you spend time at home, like when you're in your jammies, in whatever comfortable clothes you have around you. You're not going to care so much. Watch me as I don't care. That's what I hear. But it's not about not caring about yourself and engaging in self-destructive things or going for months on end with poor hygiene. No, this is not about that. It's about still continuing to do those things that please you, but focusing more on what pleases you rather than on the restrictions you consciously apply on yourself, believing that you're making yourself more desirable, more effable, right? More sexy, more better, or on top, or in competition with somebody else. So I think you're letting that go. Ooh, and it's such a world of relief what I'm hearing at the moment. You're letting that go, and it's like all the flames have flickered. It's going to be such a beautiful release of energy that you're stepping into. Let's see the next one. And I also feel like my bathrobe is coming undone. So yeah, you're going to allow people to see you. It's such a brave step to allow people to see you. I'm just trying to mirror as much light back at you as I can. We have here the Queen of LeFay. Her keywords are magic and beauty. There's something written here. Tierna na oge. Tierna na oge. Tierna na oj. I hope you can see it in the card. The Queen of LeFay. Magic and beauty. You've got a powerful protector. This also reminds me of the Temperance Angel, which to me always represents Archangel Gabriel. The angel in the tarot card, the Temperance card, is Archangel Gabriel. For some reason, the way he pours knowledge from one cup into the other speaks about Sagittarius, Aquarius energy, but also it speaks about the power of words, communication. I mean, you did have this rune as a guide at the beginning, Ansus. So it's a lot about words. It's a lot about using your words to heal other people, using your words to inspire them, to carve new ways, almost like a river, a bend in the river is carving a new arm for that river. And your arm, is that the correct geographical description? I'm not sure, but I think you understand the picture, right? When a river kind of rapidly goes downstream and it kind of carves a new path. I feel like you are a path breaker. You might have been a path breaker in your family, in your circle of friends, and they might have isolated you. They might have made you feel like you're weird, you're strange, and now you're looking for your new group of people. You're looking for a place that you belong, where you don't have to pretend like you're somebody that you're not. I feel like you guys tell people that you're writers, but in reality you are astrologers, you are occult practitioners, you know, you're one of the many different types of witches that you can become. Yeah, I feel like you guys have this energy in your blood since a very long time, almost since childhood, since birth. We have here the rabbit as well. You could be born in the Chinese year of the rabbit. Yeah. Rabbits are very elegant, but they like to keep to themselves. There is something here about creating an oasis where you escape from the world. In order to see into the future, you could have the gift of foresight. Duality. You might be one person during daytime and another person at nighttime. But I think this duality talks about playing a part, playing a role. There is this front stage persona that you tend to put forth. It's like, this is who I am during daytime. And then at nighttime, it's almost like something quite deep awakens inside of you, this other part that is a little bit dangerous, that is a little bit occult, so mysterious, that not many people would accept if they were aware of who you are. But I feel like at the moment with the bananas, right? I'm thinking of banana puree. It's kind of like you're trying to mash these two into one complete whole. Rather than having separate parts that converge here at the root, it's like you're trying to make yourself feel whole. This also speaks about a group of friends, belonging in a social group, belonging in a specific coven, and I feel as well in a specific community, rooting down with your people, finding them and then convincing them that you're worthy to be part of them. I think this is what's coming up next. And we see here the caduceus of Mercury, which appears as a symbol of healing in many different pharmaceutical locations all over the world. So being a healer, you could be a medic by daylight and a spiritual healer by nighttime or in your free time. But I feel that your soul family, your soul tribe is converging towards you. You've got the power to pull them in at the moment. And I feel that paradoxically, a lot of you that have chosen this group, you're attracting everyone by going within, by not actually spending a lot of time going out or exploring the world, but you're actually doing the opposite. You're going within, you're retreating, 4th house energy. You're going to the root. You're spending a lot of time maybe in solitude, and you're finding that spending time in solitude is actually attracting a lot of people towards you. This is very different energy than group 1. Now, let's see. Also, the Queen of Elfame, if I'm not mistaken, she's the Queen of Elf, forest spirits. There's something here about forest magic, bush knowledge as well. Ancestors that could have been bush dwellers. A biome. I see here a biome. Potentially a greenhouse, a space where you cultivate things that are protected, hidden, covered. You could be a biologist with a side interest in the occult art. We have here another card for you, sacrifice. I'm trying not to bring it too close to the flame. I don't want to burn my cards. Sacrifice. What can you let go of? I think that, as you can see in this card as well, and as I was describing here, in this card. You see how she's blending, right? She's completely surrendering. She's letting herself go. She's letting the ground absorb her, almost like quicksand. There is this osmotic process that is happening, right? Her skin is being permeated by the natural world. The natural world is absorbing her. I feel like what I said earlier about the banana mash puree, there is a feeling of you wanting to blend both personality. You cannot sustain the juggling act any longer. You're going to become them both. You're going to take a risk. And this is what's going to manifest this happy love. So instead of just separating chaos from order, you're going to blend both of them. And what usually happens when we put together control and flow? Perfect synchrony. What else? Alignment. That's what happens when we put them together. When you're able to do both give in and also control. Both step into your power and also completely surrender. Magic. That's the stuff of magic. I'm able to create something. I'm able to do my best on a pragmatic level, and then I give it up. I detach. I let it go. I trust. Let the divine come through. Magic happens then. Sacrifice. Something here has to be discarded. A weight has to be taken off your shoulder. There could be some sort of energetic attachment, a cord plugged into your back. Some cleansing needs to happen here. Let's do some sound cleansing. There we go, we've awakened some of the energies, but there might be some cord cutting rituals that you'll need to perform on yourself in order to truly... There's a gunk, there's a cord there in the back. I can feel it. It's over here. It's over here, like right next to your, I think the space between your shoulders, but on the upper part, not the lower part. Yeah, something has attached itself to you and it's sucking some of that energy, so be mindful, okay? Especially if you are divinating for other people, there could be some sort of energetic interference that is happening. I have here some more advice for you. So we have seduction. Wow. Hear the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. Give in to its alluring grip, if you please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. Be careful who you seduce, be careful who you spend time with, be careful who you open up to sexually. In this period, protected is better than subjected to the need of another person. Okay? Be careful about messing with your energy, being too open because you're seeking love. But happy love in this period comes to you by detaching from the dating scene, from keeping yourself too open. There is such a thing as being too open to energies, too open to love. To the point where you forget how to protect yourself. You forget that there is such a thing as being cautious and that it works for you rather than against you. But there might have been some sort of toxic messages that convinced you that you need to stay super open all the time. Although I know you're not a fool. As a divinator, as a person that was drawn towards Futura, right? And as a person that embodies this high priestess energy at the moment, you're definitely not a fool, but you can be idealistic. And that idealism, I think, can be used against you. So don't allow this to happen. Slap your hand. That's what I'm hearing. It's a very weird message, but I'm hearing kind of like slap your hand. No prompt gratification in this period. Delay things as much as possible. Go within. Your powers of seduction will actually increase rather than decrease if you give them a break. You might be afraid. Maybe you have a group of people around you that tell you, let's go out and party, let's go and celebrate, live your life, treat yourself, queen. you're gonna have to say no to your group of people at the moment in this period, even if it's just for a month or two. I feel like it's such an important need for you to go within, to be by yourself in this period, to rest. It's so strange, but that's what I'm hearing, because look, you're in a cocoon. You're at that stage at which you're forming your chrysalis around you. You're transforming into this butterfly. Allow yourself this time. Allow this transformation to happen, because at the other edge, on the other side of this painful transformation, and for some of you being away from distractions, having to overcome the fear of missing out could be very painful, especially if you're Libras or highly sociable people. It might be difficult, painful for you to be in solitude and stillness for a while, but do it, because I feel that otherwise this transformation might happen anyway, and it could come in the shape of an illness that kind of gets you to be in solitude and isolation for a while. I feel it's important for you. It's a very important message. Let me read you the spell that is attached to this card. So we have here the Spellcasting Oracle, which has been written by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Meiklejohn Free. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her family name. But I have here the card transformation, and each of these cards comes with a spell. So let's read yours. Okay. Hold a piece of moldavite in your hand during a waxing crescent moon on a Sunday mid-morning. Face east and say, consumed within a darkened place, challenges and fears to face, egoic sense of self now dies, let the birth of my true self rise. Metamorphosis feels strange, butterflies support this change. Moldavite for high vibration assists spiritual transformation. Embrace the dark, no need for fright. The journey's end reveals new light. Now say, gratefully, I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. So you have to know that your prayers are answered. Your spiritual work does make sense. It is happening, even if you don't see quick results. The spiritual awakening will change your perception. Get deep in it. Start it now. You have the chance right now with this new moon, new beginning. The new moon from the moment when you see this reading, okay? Get into this. Manifest this transformation. Keep your focus positive. Study alchemy, which I think you're already getting into. And an energetic shift propels you to amazing, dizzy new heights. Okay? God bless you. Group 2, wonderful transformation. Let me know down in the comments at which stage you find yourself at the moment. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped. I hope it served. We have Futura here as your guide, and under her beautiful energy, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Take great care of yourself and see you in my next one. Mwah. Hey group 3, welcome to a very special pick-a-card reading. We're going to ask the witches, some of my ancestors as well, what advice do you need at the moment to deal with whatever area of life, whatever kind of energy you need to get a better grasp over or become more aware of. We'll see whatever messages come through. I've made this space and I've opened this reading to a lot of messages to come through in whichever way they want, regarding whatever aspect serves you the most at the time at which you stumble upon this reading through the beautiful law of serendipity. So I'm really happy that you're here. This is for those of you that were drawn to the medicine mother. Trust your inner guidance, your inner knowing. So she is an aboriginal energy. This is very strong earth energy as well. It is about using the wisdom of the land, the wisdom of animals, also the actual physicality of animals, their bones, their hide, their feathers, their skin, their leather, right? Everything that the land provides in order to heal and treat, in order to divinate and forecast, in order to prognosticate what might happen with the weather, with food, with crops, with life and death situations, birth and renewal. So the medicine mother is all-knowing, and her knowledge has been passed down from her family to herself, and she's educating the future generation as well. There is something about ancestry here that needs to make itself known to you, the lineage of family. It could also be suffering from a health problem that has a genetic basis, breaking a family curse, something that has been passed down from generation to generation, and it stops with you. Wow, let's see. Ooh. The moment when I said that, there was thunder in the sky. We've been having a very hot day here in Bucharest, so hot that I'm only able to film at night with the air conditioning on. If you hear something in the background, that's my AC. So it's been incredibly hot here. I could barely think or stand up straight. And right now we're having this massive energetic discharge. It's been raining, it's been stormy, and we're having these thunders, these massive thunders that appear in the sky, and I could see them behind my window. And I think, much like I heard something from my neighbor upstairs at the moment, like a small clank, these sounds, these messages come through for us at specific moments. Your reading is especially powerful because, my love, you've chosen the rune that represents Sovilo, the sun. You've chosen the energy of victory, the energy that melts the ice. Sovilo is the opposite of Isa, the rune that represents icing things, that basically stands for frozen water, frozen energy, frozen feelings, frozen action. Sovilo is the one that melts all that away. It is regenerative, it is vital. For those of you that have been suffering from health problems, I see them returning, or rather, no, not returning. I see you returning to good health. I see them, oh, I'm getting the word retaliating. There could be another round. Okay, there could be another round where you need to go back for some more treatment, but you will eventually succeed. Health is yours. Well-being will be reestablished. Very important message. Retaliation for some of you. Get ready for round 2 in whatever you're suffering with your health. And as I'm saying this, I'm trying not to cough, but I feel it's coming. Sorry about this. I think it's also the air conditioning. I don't really like using air conditioning, but tonight I have no choice, because if not, I would be a lake at the moment. Things melting for you, things flowing back again. Where there was an icy obstacle, now the light of day is coming through. More warmth, more energy, more love, more a feeling as if you're surrounded by people that pat you on the back and, you know, hug you and want the best for you. Affection. A lot of affection is coming through for you. And I think this is also the consequence of you being brave enough to stand in your integrity. So Willow is about that. The light of truth. I'm not going to compromise who I am. This is who I am. These are my values. And I'm going to risk being alone and set to the side and not getting what I want. But I am going to speak my truth. I'm going to be me. The sun is identity. In Western astrology, the sun governs over Leo. I am in Leo season when I'm filming this reading for you guys. And Leo season is one of my favorite seasons. It's the season of the heart. This is when most people, most soulmates meet and fall in love. A lot of beautiful weddings that last for a very long time happen in Leo season. Leo season ties one heart together to another heart. And that's why it's one of my favorites. But you could be watching this reading in the future in a different season. Although I think that Leo energy is very important to you for some reason. Leo usually, and Virgo, I wanted to say, you could be born on a cusp. Or you could be thinking about somebody born on a cusp. Leos and Virgos, they rule over the medical realm, treating everything. Wearing white robes, white, yellow, gold. These are the colors represented by Leo. So let's give you your sigil as well. Interesting. The labyrinth. Sigils work in this following way. You take this symbol and you draw it yourself by hand, or you paint it. It does have to be something practical. You can't just decorate it on your screen, right, using Paint 3D or Adobe Photoshop. Try to do something physical. Try to somehow create it with pen and paper, or with, I don't know, watercolors on specific art paper. And then what you do is you either put it on your body, you put it under your pillow, under a coffee cup that you're drinking from. It needs to be activated by your energy, by your body heat, by your sweat, by just coming in contact with your hair. It needs to have that kind of like the energy that your body exudes. It needs to be somehow imprinted on the sigil that you have drawn in order to activate it. And you got the labyrinth. And what does this sigil do for you? Well, it helps you transition to a lighter level of being. It helps raise your energetic vibration. It's bringing you enlightenment. So if you have been feeling low, heavy, tired, sick, out of it, completely out of it, not wanting to progress, not wanting to move forward, not looking forward to anything anymore, being afraid to even imagine a brighter future for you, you will find your way out of this mental prison, out of this labyrinth. You can't stay there forever. Theseus eventually managed to defeat the Minotaur, right? So Theseus, if you guys know the myth, he was helped by Ariadne, who gave him a thread to go into the labyrinth, and the thread showed him where his starting point was, so he wouldn't get lost and he would be able to find his way out once he has defeated the monster that lived in the labyrinth. The Minotaur lived on the island of Crete, and he was put there in order to sacrifice the children that were supposed to be given as an offering. The story is very beautiful. I don't do it justice. Please Google it, have a read. It's super fascinating. But what I'm trying to get to here in a very roundaboutish way is that you cannot live with the monster in your head in this labyrinth with no way out. Eventually you'll have to pick up that red thread and walk out of it. You will defeat the Minotaur. You've got it. You've got that willpower. There is something I've been thinking about today, and I'm going to share it in your reading because I feel like you need to hear from this, and I feel that this is why Spirit has inspired that string of thought inside of me. When you are a person that's naturally very sick, like I was a very sickly child, and part of the reason why I was sick, I think it was also genetics and poor food, but it was also my mother's anxiety over me being sick and always threatened by the environment that was contributing to my sickness, making me extra vulnerable. You know, when you have a very controlling and over worrisome mother, you tend to absorb that anxiety and it tends to amplify whatever other symptoms you have. So it was part environment, part genetics. I was very sickly. I spent a lot of time being touched by doctors, measured, put in hospital, operated on from a very young age. I have Pluto in the first house and I managed to survive it, thank God. But it was constant trauma on my body. But what it taught me is that, first of all, you can escape to so many different places. You don't have to be in your body all the time. There is this other realm where you can always go to in order to survive whatever is happening to you on Earth. And I know that psychologically that is called dissociation, but I do believe in the many benefits of escapism that is practiced from time to time with good reason. Now, the other thing that it taught me is that it was teaching me self-control. All the directions I was getting from the doctors, stand up straight, eat this thing, now we're going to put this catheter in, now we're going to give you this injection, all of those things. It's kind of like I internalized that dialogue, and now I can give my body commands and it follows them. So even when I'm lying sick in bed, I was recently very sick, maybe you guys know, I was cheering on my blood cells and I was telling them, go white cells, reproduce, you know, fight those a-hole viruses inside my body, go, go, go. So even as I was in that weird stage when I was like, I'm so out of it, I don't care, I was still trying to cheer on my blood cells so that they can multiply, not to a crazy extent because we don't want leukemia, but, you know, kind of pushing them on to do their job. I was telling my body to get up and go and make itself tea. It's good for you. Go and do that. When you go through these experiences where you sometimes are left to your own devices or you're being somehow physically controlled, you find such deep reserves of inner strength inside of you, and you tend to kind of relate to your body, relate to your psychology in a different way than other people. Now, the whole point of the story is to help you understand that something that could have been quite traumatic and traumatizing for you as you were growing up, or something that has recently happened to you that is traumatizing, it's not only that. Nothing is never just the negative of it, much like it's never just the positive of it. Things are always dual. That is the inherent nature of being alive on this planet, existence, humanity, whatever you want to call it. And every great spiritual master out there knew that, starting with Lao Tzu. Everything has a negative and a positive. Even my time spent in hospitals as a child, being sick, you know, being often just left in the hospital there for a couple of days without any people visiting me, it taught me how to relate to my body in a deeper and more interesting way than other people of the same age as me, who didn't need to think about that. It taught me how to get control over my body, to give it commands, to work on it at a level at which I was able to manifest certain things with it, certain things I wanted to manifest with it. And it gave me this energy of being able to pull myself through such difficult things in life and coming out of them without that much pain and trauma and sadness. Things that other people could have been broken by, I simply swam through them because of my prior experience, because of everything that I learned from that difficult period growing up. So there is a benefit in your struggle. That's what I'm kind of going at. Sorry if that was too intense. Let's see your oracle cards right now. We have here the Fool, opening up. This is about rebelling. No longer just allowing things to happen to you and you feeling as if you have no control. Even if this is a situation regarding health, you will be able to push back this energy of, I am not a victim, I am not vulnerable, I am not going to be defeated. I know that in many other cases, I do see strength as true vulnerability. But in your case, I feel like you need to hear the opposite advice at the moment. You have to find a way to master those parts of you that you think are out of control, because they're not. You just have to shine the light of your awareness onto them and kind of bring them back, reel them back in. This is not about controlling other people. This is not about other people's opinions and other people's bodies and other people's energy coming your way. This is about you going to those deep dark corners inside of your mind and bringing light in. And in a funny way, like, ha! I'm here, skeletons in my closet. I've come to play with you. It's again, right? You're in this labyrinth with the Minotaur and you don't know what's going to happen and you think, oh my god, you're never going to find your way out. Get back on that Minotaur's head and kill it. And look for Ariana's red thread. There is somebody in your life that can help you. Get out of it. You can do it. History was written by you killing the Minotaur. In this case, if you associate with Theseus. which is the hero of that story. You can do it. The sun is on your side. If I'm not mistaken, medicine mother were also called to perform exorcisms, to bring people back from situations where it looked like they had no chances of coming back up to life. It's a very judgment major arcana in the tarot kind of card. To feel like you've resurrected, like whatever was burdening your soul is now off of you, melted away. So the Fool, you're a pioneer, you're a rebel, you're bringing all this electricity into places that are so dark. I've recently finished a book called The Familiar Dark. Maybe you've been in the dark for so long, it's the only thing you know. You don't know how to relate to the light. You think the light is bullshit. Well, now you're gonna get intimately acquainted with it, because you have the rune Sowilo, the sun. The sun is here. You're not going to be able to run away from it. It's here, so you might as well make friends with it and understand how to work with this center stage, powerfully performing energy. There's nothing more evident and more in your face than the sun. And if you don't believe me, study the sign that the sun rules in astrology, Leos, and let me know what you find out. Let's see the next card. Ho ho! Acceptance. What was I saying? So this is number 4. You're building a new home inside of you. Whatever you thought you knew about yourself, you're learning a completely different script right now. The story you kept telling yourself and other people about who you were, right now is being rewritten. It's kind of like I see a team of editors, you know, old-fashioned editors that were wearing breeches and glasses, like those big goggles with thick frames. They're coming in and they're like, no, scrape this out, where's my gum? Scrape this out, no, what? And you're like, what are you guys doing here? Well, it's because you're accepting yourself, so a fresh wave of new energy is coming into your life. This is about a parent, and I feel that this could be about a mother that did not accept you, that caused you a world of problems. There is some massive healing coming here, like ridiculous healing between you and your mother. You're like accepting your light because you're finally able to see her in a good light as well, because you're coming or becoming more aware. You're coming to a point of illumination, and you're becoming more aware of how you both share this history of darkness. I did talk about this thing that was passed down from generation to generation at the beginning of the reading. You're owning it. You're owning it. You're no longer running away from it, afraid of it. You're finally just being like, you know what? I'm going to face this. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to integrate it. And I'm not going to be afraid that it's going to transform me into something worse, or something that I always feared becoming, like my mother or like my grandmother. You already are your grandmother and your mother and your aunt and your uncle and your father, but you're also something more than that, because you are the future, unless you have children, in which case your children are the future of the bloodline. You are more than that, and that's what you're understanding at the moment. You're transcending that. But in order to become that more, or to be aware of it, to live it out, you must accept the basics, the building blocks, the parental lineage. And I know that for some of you this might be very difficult, because it might come with a lot of trauma. It might come with a lot of negativity. If your parent is an abuser, an alcoholic, a neglectful parent, it's hard to accept that. Nobody in this world would ever say, oh, that's easy. You know, love your mom and your dad, great. No, it's hard. It's really hard. But it can be done, and you can do it, and your power is now, and you can accept it, and you can move on. A lot of you have been living with so much loss in your heart that's been creating this illness. maybe constant flus, constant poor immune system, because it's hard to accept the truth that is evident. But once you embrace it and you accept it, watch how everything comes back up to full energy, full vitality, because you are integrating that shadow aspect rather than allowing it to cause you fear and sickness. We also have here the silver bow. Love. I feel like crying. I hope I didn't make you cry. I'm sorry. But you know, crying can be a form of emotional release. It's incredibly healing and therapeutic. I can tell you, I'm a Pisces, lifetime of crying, okay? I have like deep wrinkles under my eyes because of so much crying and wiping my eyes. But it's good. That's how we process karma. That's how we let stuff go. That's how we remain feeling, even in spite of difficulty, by crying. The silver bow. This talks about something lucky appearing in your life. A long-time partner, a partner that might stick with you for a very long time, because you know swans mate for life. This talks about coming into the spring of your life. This is Persephone coming out from 6 months of spending time in the underworld with Hades. She's coming back up to life again. She's finally able to have her holiday on top of the ground with her mother in beautiful springtime, beautiful summertime, enjoying life, enjoying the sun that has just entered in your life, shining a light on the labyrinth of the mind that you have been living in. This dark place with no way out. There is a way out. There always was a way out. It's just that you have to walk through it. Affection. The sorrel. Rumex acetosa. This is interesting. I don't know why I felt the need to read the Latin name. Maybe this says something about you, something to you. The cat in the mirror, the black cat in the mirror. I have a feeling you guys have always been feeling a little bit out of sorts, like you've always been the odd one out in your family group. I feel again this block in my capacity to speak. Like you've always been feeling a little bit strange, a little bit out of it. We have Taurus energy here. Taurus energy has been so strong tonight, and it is because at the moment we are having Uranus in Taurus, conjunct the North Node in Taurus, and conjunct Mars in Taurus at the moment at which I'm filming this. So this is the specific energy, and then all of those planets in Taurus and points are being like shadowed by the South Node in Scorpio. And it is touching upon the Pluto in Scorpio of the generation I belong to, the so-called millennials. But coming back to the messages that you need to hear, we have protection. And it says here, set personal boundaries. You can be loving, you can be wise, you can be warm, but it's so important for you to discriminate, delineate, to step into this managerial position. It's like, I love you, but you're not supposed to talk to me on Sundays. Sundays are my rest days. Sundays are my days when I turn my phone off. But I love you, but please leave me alone on Sundays. Maybe you can say it in a way that doesn't sound so contradictory, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say here. You don't have to keep the whole world at bay. You just need to find ways to organize things better. You don't have to block yourself from affection or to think that it's hopeless. I'm never going to find love. When love is here, it's hanging on the silver bow. All you have to do is reach your hand and grab it by accepting who you are. And then when you feel like others' energies is angering you because they are overstepping certain limits, speak your truth authentically. Hey, no, stop. This is my limit. This is where I draw the line, because if not, I'm gonna get angry. And anger is a very good response to how our personal boundaries are not being properly set or properly respected. But it's a good warning sign, because when used appropriately, anger can help us understand, aha, okay, I care about this thing, and I realized there was no boundary there. So let's establish a new boundary, okay? Change of mind? Here are the new regulations. Because oftentimes conflict shows us what we care about. It is the case for many people, many of us, that are born with birth charts with a lot of squares to the planet Mars, or maybe Mars on the ascendant, that through conflict, you actually figure out what you care about. You were born into this world, maybe not caring so much. Maybe you have the moon conjunct the south node. You're very calm, you're very chill. Maybe you have moon conjunct Saturn, right? You don't feel so much. Everything is frozen. There's a lot of fear regarding the act of feeling. So you're going to learn through a process of trial and error what you care about and what you don't like, whom to love and whom to stay away from. The elements. Remember to feel the warmth pulsing through your womb. You are a child of mother. True harmony awaits you. And you can use this interchangeably if you're a man, I guess, through your nether regions, through your sexual organs. The elements. I feel like it would be well for you to work with things in 4. 4 crystals, 4 books, the 4 directions, north, south, east, west. I feel like there might be 4 women that could help you. 4, and in some cases 3, because I remember that when I was pulling cards, yes, exactly, I remember for you, when I was shuffling the cards and pre-selecting them, you got 3 cards from this deck. You're the only group that got 3 cards from the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. I wanted just 1 card, 3 fell down. I put them back in, I shuffled again, 3 fell down again. I took them. 3 and 4, for some reason it's important for you. 3, 4, you could be 34 or 43. But 3s and 4, 3 could be your birth number, your destiny number. 4 could be your birth number and destiny number, because I'm reading for a large collective. Let's see what the other messages are, because I feel like the elements cannot be interpreted just by itself. I have to look at the other ones. Transformation. Like 1,000 storms held in hands soft against the winds, there is a change arising from deep within you. What was I saying? What was I saying earlier about recreating your soul, re-inhabiting your body somehow? There's something here about giving up smoking for some of you. It just drew my attention. And then we have the black cat. This is a great symbol of luck. There's a curious journey into the depths of the unknown, hidden so deep that only the brave will gracefully return with light in their eyes and shadow leaving home. The transit of Pluto in Aquarius. This is what you're preparing for. You might be seeing this in the future when Pluto has already started its transit in Aquarius. It could be transiting over your sun, your Venus, your moon. You need to get comfortable with the dark, with your fears, with uncomfortable feelings, and in general, with feelings. And as I'm saying this to you, I'm saying this to me, because Pluto is also going to go over my Venus for the next 22 years. So we're in this together. You're not alone. And I think that you're going to find phenomenal treasures as you're getting accustomed with this less savvier part of life. Fears, obsessions, incredible desires. The elements are going to come to your rescue. I feel like you could travel in all the 4 directions of the world. You're going to transform beyond belief, and you're going to find out that you're a cat with 9 lives. You're a black cat, a lucky cat. And you're also going to have an incredible power to attract people. So this is why the protection energy came through. And finally, I have your spell casting card. The this card comes together with a spell, which I'm going to read for you in a second. We have here answers. And you see here again, we have this aboriginal energy. There is something here about your ancestors, your native ancestry, fourth house issues in astrology, ruled by the moon and the sign of Cancer. Mothering, anchoring into the unknown and making it known, like diving into a deep treasure chest. Let's see what the spell work is. How can you find the answers you are seeking? Because I feel a lot of answers are coming your way, and you need to get prepared to stomach the truth. That's what I'm hearing. Take a book, such as a dictionary, on a Sunday during a waxing crescent moon, and say, no solution to the task, details hidden, who to ask. Wisdom's found deep inside, higher selves the perfect guide. Question posed upon closed book, open up and take a look. Random words from one to gauge, answered found now on a page. The page the book is open at will is going to reveal wisdom and the answers you're looking for. And once you found that page and stopped upon a specific sentence or word, now say, gratefully, I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. I actually have a specific reading. It was called, I think, The Game of Chance in my Pick a Card playlist. I do exactly that thing for you. I just randomly select a page from a book and I read you the message. Go and listen to that now. It could help you. Also, make sure to create the spell and tell me what the results are. Let me know if this resonated. I feel called to end this reading here. I hope it helped. I hope it served you at this time. And I cannot wait to see my next one. Bye, group 3. Hey, group 4. Hello, my loves. Welcome to a very special midnight pick a card reading on the topic of advice that you need to hear now. Let's ask the witches, some of them my ancestors and guides, my protectors. So let's see, this is for those of you that were drawn to none other than the mother of witchcraft herself, the tripartite goddess Hecate. She represents the aspect of the mother, maiden, and the crone. She's governed by the moon, lunar energy, the stuff of the unknown, mystery, nighttime, dreams, the unconscious, and everything that we hold in the womb, our ancestry, genetical material, and hopes and wishes, incantations, spells, curses, everything that we receive as the stories of our family, the stories of the creation of our existence here on earth. So, no pressure. There was again another thunder in the sky. We're having a bit of a stormy night here in Bucharest, where I'm filming from, after a day that was ridiculously hot. So I'm pretty happy to see the duality, right, of storm and stillness, heat and then water. Interestingly enough, I'm going to begin with your rune, and you chose Dagas. And Dagas is actually a really interesting rune. I think it can also be referred to as Dag or Tag in Germanic, which basically means day, daylight, the inevitability of the fact that tomorrow there will be another day, that the world is revolving around the sun. There is the energy here also of receiving some sort of knowledge that illuminates you, that awakens you to the reality of something. It's the rune of bold change. Its counterpart is the rune Yera, and both of them actually talk about time in a different way. Dagas is actually more about mundane, day-to-day time. Yera is all about periods and cycles of time. But this, in essence, is about perceiving a paradoxical truth, understanding the principle of non-duality, and thereby receiving some sort of moment of enlightenment. So that's why I felt the need to describe this rune to you at this point in your reading, because we were talking about duality and non-duality. There's this belief that, you know, normally our rational minds would say things are black and white, it's either day or night, you're either intelligent or stupid, you know, you're either tall or small, you're either rich or poor. But a lot of spiritual seekers and teachers and masters, especially those that come from the eastern part of the world, which to my mind is much more developed than a lot of the philosophies and spiritual teachings of the West, they teach us about this idea that what we perceive as separate from each other, or what we perceived as boxed into these categories that seem so simple, is actually an illusion. It's the principle of separation that covers as an illusion a world of wholeness, a world of constant connection. So we are dealing here with the realm of Maya, the illusion in Buddhist philosophy. Okay, this being said, I'm getting quite deep tonight with this reading, but I feel the need to do this, so bear with me. You're here for a very specific reason, and I try to give you something that is of value and worth as we're creating it together. I'm very happy that you're here, by the way. I'm going to give you now your sigil. So, after the rune, we have here a special element. A sigil is basically a symbol that has certain occult energy inside of it. When you draw it, you basically begin to create it for yourself. And then all you need to do to activate it is put a little bit of you next to it. I like to draw the sigil and then put it under my pillow in order to activate it with the temperature of my body, the heat of my body, my hair as I sleep. So in an unconscious way, it activates, it works for me as I sleep. Feel free to put it under a coffee cup that you're drinking from. Feel free to put it next to any kind of environment where you work or you spend a lot of time in. You can even put it under your chair, under your bum, if you want to activate it in that way. But the energy and what I'm trying to get you to understand here is that a sigil works when you draw it, paint it, when you do something physical to recreate the symbol, and then you activate it with a part of you. You can even blow onto it, okay? It's really, really important that you use a part of you to activate the sigil. And the sigil that I have here for you is the one that activates a safe and happy journey for you. When you create it, it gives you protection from harm when you are journeying. So you could want to explore the world and you are afraid. You have been scaremongered by the media into thinking that the world is insane at the moment and you cannot travel, it's not safe, you'd rather just stick to what you know. And it cannot be further from the truth. The world is beautiful and I urge you to go and explore it. And if you draw the sigil and activate it as well, you have an extra layer of protection, which I hope will give you the confidence to go out there and explore the world. Considering that you've got the rune of daylight, tomorrow is a brand new day. Why not go and explore something outside of your comfort zone? See where it takes you. Let's see what your oracle cards are. Gonna drink some water. I've been speaking for almost an hour and a half, so my voice can sometimes fluctuate. The first card, we're starting off so powerfully. We have the Emperor here. This is the energy you're about to embody, my love. Are you ready? Are you ready to get in touch with this divine masculine energy entering your life? No. This is not somebody you're going to fall in love with, somebody you're going to adore and cater to, be subservient to, or make love to. This is within you. You're becoming this emperor. You're becoming that person you want to date and marry. Should we go back to that principle of non-duality? How whatever you are seeking outside of yourself already lies within you, It's just the illusion that you are female and your ideal counterpart is male, when at the soul level we're all connected. Sorry, I'm being a little bit, funny tonight, but maybe you need a dose of humor. The Emperor. You're planning, you're managing, you're organizing your life with the most perfect alignment possible, for lack of a better word. You've got everything you need, all the knowledge, all the skills, all the aptitudes to start carving that life. You might just need a holiday though, because you might have been working too hard at carving your niche, at becoming somebody important, known, distinguished. You might just need to kind of, party hard, not only work hard. But you are becoming the person with the higher perspective, the person that is able to see the big picture, the eagle, right? Some of you could become quite well known in the US as well. To me, the eagle always represents American institutions. It's a symbol for so many American institutions. But as an animal spirit in itself, it talks about the higher vibration of Scorpio, which is once you've mastered your lower desires and you're no longer privy to jealousy, obsession, retaliation, getting revenge. Once you've managed to overcome those initial very strong reactions to fight back and punish and get justice on your own terms, once you've rose above, you've transformed that need inside of you to just act on impulse, you rose above, you see the big picture, you understand the karma, you understand the transformation, you understand the cycles, you understand that being patient sometimes has its benefits. That sometimes if you just pull back and live your best life and you allow the divine to step in and create justice for you, you're better off ultimately. You're seeing the big picture and you're able to guide other people towards a specific goal. You are walking into amazing power. And I keep looking at the colors that are being reflected on the card. A world of color. I feel like you're also opening up to multicultural connections. I'm picking up on mixed race energy as well. This world of color could mean many different things. But I feel like your group of friends, your group of lovers, whatever it is that you hold near and dear, is about to become global. And it will be, if you summon the courage to safely travel. And you will be safe if you set this intention everywhere you go. I am guided, I am protected. Nothing shall harm me. The Emperor. You're creating your kingdom at the moment. Heaven here on earth. No wonder you are drawn to Hecate. I feel like you've done all you could on the rational plane, and like many intelligent people before you, you understood that the rational understanding of life, the measuring, the quantification has a limit. In order to go deeper, you have to go beyond. That's one of the reasons why Sir Isaac Newton, who is and is considered a great physicist, right? The forefather of a lot of the quintessential rules of physics that we have nowadays. He is also a person that was also part of the Masonic Guild. Many people that were incredibly intelligent with high IQs ended up dabbling in the occult, because whatever we can understand rationally can only go so far. In order to kick that ceiling, you have to go beyond the normal and start dabbling with the paranormal. So you're understanding this at the moment. Although the Emperor is a highly rational and highly pragmatic energy, represented by Aries, this is about kicking, I'm hearing kicking the fourth wall as well. Some of you could be writing scripts or work in movies, film studies. Yeah, that's interesting. You might be writing something from many different perspectives. Yeah, there's something here about Jonathan Safran Foer. Could be one of your favorite authors, or you could aspire to become like him. Yeah, that's a very weird message. It kind of hijacked the reading. Let's keep it moving. We have here as well discernment. This is interesting because, again, it's kind of like I'm thinking of the principle of coagula, so bringing things together, binding, and then solve, which is dissolving, separating. And it's kind of like you're understanding certain things. It all makes sense. You're getting this arcane moments of, wow, everything is piecing together before my eyes. I'm seeing beyond the matrix, And then all of a sudden you go back into discernment, separation, understanding things. You're breaking things down in order to see them from a detached perspective, and then you're reuniting them again. There's a deep process of defragmentation that is happening. It's like you're carving this new personality. And it's super exciting. And it's fun. That's why I feel the need to kind of introduce a lot of humor into this. Much like daylight only comes after night, you're understanding that things have polarities. You're understanding the inherent contradiction in a lot of things, the paradox in many things that exist here on Earth. In your existence as well, in your being here on Earth, the paradox and the contradiction of you existing at this moment in time with your genetic material. I'm getting here the energy of a highly intelligent person that has overutilized their mind to study from books or from clips or from encyclopedias, and now you need lived experience. Now you need to go out into the world. I feel that a lot of my Pluto and Sagittarius were guided towards this group. I don't know why, but I'm getting so strongly, like I could hear my inner voice saying, Pluto and Sagittarius, Pluto and Sagittarius, you're my oracles. My master manifestors, welcome. If you identify with that. Either Pluto and Sagittarius, or you're a Sagittarius cluster, Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius stellium. Something here. The higher picture, the keen intelligence, the travel, the magic. Let's connect this discernment with the next card, the spell. Oh, so we have here enchantment, the spell. I feel like from time to time you allow yourself to be gone with the fairies. You allow yourself moments of deep escapism. This is a lot of the energy of somebody that could be highly analytical by daytime, and at nighttime you float away. This could be induced by consuming certain substances, but it could also be just you resting, just allowing to give yourself some nice, maybe music time, maybe movie time. I'm seeing how I'm kind of decorating my upper eyelid with my dark kohl. But it's those little things that actually, I'm hearing it's the little pieces, when you put them back together, they might not look as perfect, but they give you a completely beautiful insight. I feel like there's this process at the moment, group 4, this is so strange, but you're tearing things apart and putting them back together, tearing them apart and putting them back together. You want to understand how things work, but then when you put them back together, they look a little bit loop-sided or strange, like they've been damaged in some way, but they hold a different magic inside of them. And this can be with relationships as well. You could be having this energy of deciding to split from somebody, then going back to them, deciding to split, going back to them. And each of these moments are building up towards a moment of illumination, a moment when you're like, aha, now I get it. So allow this process to happen. Try not to stand in between it and you and your own development, more like it. Allow this process to happen. Don't listen to what social media is telling you about on and off relationships. Hear me out, okay? There is something important happening here. You could have a Uranus transit to your 7th house, Uranus transit your Venus. The deconstruction has to happen. The chaos is working for you rather than against you. You might not see it now because Uranus will continue to stay in Taurus until 2026. So you might see it with the benefit of hindsight, but allow yourself the gift of going through this process even though it doesn't make sense. Have fun in the fact that it doesn't make sense. Have fun that it's a challenge for a person as intelligent as you. Have fun that even though you are highly analytical and capable of seeing the big picture, you can also get creative, get imaginative, do some mistakes, leave things floating, leave them on hold, be a little bit wishy-washy. You're understanding that the mark of a true leader is not necessarily a person that puts others into submissions and dominates them through sheer muscle or mental intelligence. No, it's the capacity to do blunders and admit that from mistakes we learn and we grow. The emperor is the first one to put their foot in the mouth. The emperor is the first one to do a mistake, but it's also the first person to leave a burning room, making sure first that all of its crew, all of its group made it out safely. Courage and a little bit of naivety. Exactly the beautiful characteristics that make us fall in love with Aries energy, right? Aries energy is not very cerebral. It's about, I feel it, I do it. I don't sit and mince my words and devise a plan. That's Libra energy. That's the analytical part. Mastermind. But I'm getting very strong Neptunian and Aries energy for you. So potentially a cusp between an Aries and a Pisces. Victory. We see Aries here as well, and we see the crown and the red. Unbelievable. So we have Nasturtium, and we have Grandmaster number 44. You are protected and guided by angels as you're overcoming these challenges. You're laying down brick by brick your new spiritual foundation. What does this mean? You're starting to believe in something again after a very long period of doubting. Stepping into that confidence, baby, and just boldly making a change. It's like, I'm tired of overthinking. I'm tired of like living in this box that other people have created for me based on fears and beliefs that I've received down from other people or from my neighborhood. I'm tired of this. I'm gonna go out into the world and figure things out on my own. I'll make a couple of mistakes, so what? We learn from them. God, and all of a sudden I could feel my mouth producing extra saliva, like, you're so thirsty for new experiences. It's like people have been locking you away, overprotecting you, and now you're going to be like, be gone, I am ready to begin my adventure. I would strongly suggest that you start reading some of those Bildungsromanen, like that's just a type of novel. It's a theme that's at the core of a lot of novels in life. But for example, the novels written by Mark Twain come to mind. Mark Twain was a Sagittarius Sun. I feel that they could inspire you for some reason. Jack London as well. Where are these names coming to mind? I don't know, I'm getting very strong Sagittarius energy. So maybe this represents you're coming into your prime. A lot of you're coming into your power. It's like, I'm not gonna let anyone tell me what to do anymore. I'm going to make my decisions. I'm going to decide if my life is gonna be messy or not, if my life is gonna be ordered or not. I'm gonna make the decisions. I'm the boss. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. There's a lot of exuberance here, like you're finally going like, ugh, enough, get off my back, everyone. I'm stepping in. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm so proud of you. If nobody told you this, you can hear it here. I am so proud of you, group 4. Merak. What do we have here? Embrace oneness with the universe. And the number that we have here is 16, which adds up to 17. 17. It adds up to 7, but I think you're gonna go one level up. Why did I say 17? Because all of these mistakes are intuitive hits. I mean, 1 plus 7 add up to 8, and that's the number of power. So you're very close to that pinnacle. But it's kind of like you need your own affirmation, your own moment of individual power. You need to claim something. Claim it as your own. Even if it's just, getting control of your life, getting control of your diet, over your daily routine, over your work. You have to step into it. Look, stepping into it. Literally, there's a foot in this. And maybe you've been putting your foot in the mouth. Let's continue the metaphors, shall we? And in the past, you've been saying blunt things. So what? Keep being authentic. You might make more mistakes. There might be more moments of you putting the foot in the mouth. But have you ever thought that maybe those moments can be incredibly freeing and liberating for other people? That watching you make a fool of yourself can be something incredibly inspiring and liberating for another person that has been living all their lives with so many limitations that they are even afraid to, brush their teeth in a public toilet, even though they need to do that, but they are waiting for somebody to give them permission. This happened to me. I was on a flight. It was, I think, 11 hours long. I was crossing over the Atlantic, going to America, and when I landed, the first thing I did was I went to the bathroom and I brushed my teeth and I washed my armpits and I just freshened up completely. And there was this woman who came up to me very sweetly and she was like, "Are you allowed to do this here?" And I just looked around and I was like, it's a bathroom. We wash ourselves in a bathroom, don't we? Sure, maybe I came across as a little bit rough and tough and maybe slightly rude, but she started brushing her teeth next to me because I encouraged her to take control of the bathroom space. It's also the prerequisite social norm that you're only expected to wash your hands or maybe arrange your hair and your makeup in a public bathroom. But why not do all the other things, especially after such a long flight, especially in a bathroom that is specifically designed for people on a plane? Think about that. Think about the limitations that we put up with every day when in reality you can just go ahead and claim something. Go ahead and do it. This is, I think, the energy that is asking to rise up inside of you. And you can do this in any area. I see it predominantly here in the area of work, but it could also be in a long-term connection or in a family situation where you allowed others to bully you, to control you, to tell you what to do, what to eat, what to wear, what to think. It's applicable to the majority of areas in your life. Tonight, the messages were not area specific. I've noticed this. They were about the becoming of somebody. They were based on identity problems. And I think it's because of Saturn in Aquarius and Leo season at the moment. Because as you guys know, Aquarius and Leo is the polarity that deals with the individual and the group, the performer and the public, the self and the others. So the other cards that I have here for you, I think this is my pile as well. We have here journey, get out of the house, travel now. I mean, it's like the universe is basically pulling all the alarms, right? Journey. So, daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you own. Don't be afraid, nothing will happen to you. Especially if you're a witch. The opposite could be true. You could end up intimidating and scaring a lot of people around you just with your sheer energy, especially if you own it. I can tell you from experience. A person that is confident, intelligent, and also takes care of themselves is a formidable opponent, just somebody that might make them or think of them in this way. You might not think of yourself as being in competition with somebody else, but maybe somebody else is in competition with you. Don't worry, trust yourself, trust your path. Even though it could be winding, even though it's up this black mountain, you're wondering, do I have the stamina, the energy to actually climb to the top? Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. 1,001 Arabian Nights. Maybe you need to travel to the Middle East or to the Arab world to convince yourself. Yeah, you have a hunger for traveling, because I heard my pang in my stomach. You're hungry for experiences. Go, travel, explore. See the world for what it actually is, not for what the media imagined it to be. See beyond the political and socially manipulative messages. You're going to be surprised how beautiful the world is. You're going to be surprised how helpful and kind the majority of people on this earth are. How we just want to live in peace, live a good life, have plenty of everything. I also have here for you your final card, which comes with a spell. So it says here, empowerment. Wow. It's not like the messages were already not screaming through the screen for you, but I definitely think that you're my Pluto and Sagittarius crew. And I definitely think that you guys were indoctrinated from a small age with all sorts of things that happened around 9/11, which was one of the biggest things that happened during your generation. And the persecution of other groups, the religious problems between Christians and Muslims, the whole social political divide of resources. Now you're stepping into your power and you're discovering the world in a different way. You're understanding, you're seeing through the lies. You're understanding that there's such a different side to what you were taught. Things are coming full circle, that's what I'm hearing. It's a true maturation moment for you, my love. Yeah, you're stepping into this power. You're becoming this emperor. Whoa! I want to say it louder, but I can't because it's midnight and I don't want to wake up my neighbors. So let's see, empowerment. Here's your spell. Are you ready for it? With arms upstretched at noon on a Sunday during a waxing gibbous moon phase, face south, light a red candle and say, Salamanders, spirits of fire, bring me your courage and all I desire. Extinguish the dark that blacks out the light, so I am released of fears and my blight. Allow the fire to ravage, be free, empowerment stoked for all to see, flame ignited, feel it grow, now become the sacred glow. When you feel that this is complete, blow out the red candle. Let the swirl of smoke from the extinguished flame wrap around you and say, gratefully, I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. You have to stand up and be counted in this period. You have to be responsible for your actions, accountable for everything you think and feel and value. And in this way, you're going to become so powerful. Maybe somebody's trying to control you, but it's time to get your opinions across. You have to participate in some sort of social gathering that is meant to inspire others. You're also meant to seize the day. And this brings us full circle to your rune, daylight. This is the message that I have for you, group 4. I really hope you have enjoyed this. This has been a powerful session. Please let me know if this helped, if it resonates. Has it been in any way of service to you? I'm always super happy to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I'm able to see you in my next one. Take care and happy travels. Bye.